I think if anybody is going to pass Courtland Sutton besides Vele, it's definitely Pat Bryant. Like, you know that meme of Lightning McQueen getting passed up in the Cars
Yeah.
movie?
McQueen is fading.
It's gonna be like Pat Bryant passing up Courtland Sutton. I feel like for that main like role. Welcome back to another episode of the Broncos Avenue podcast. I'm your host, Amir Farrell, with my co-host, Evan Petruk. The Denver Broncos just got a very, very positive update on one of their wide receivers who missed all of mandatory minicamp. Plus, stay tuned to the very end of the show because we have a new edition of Cut and Keep. If you guys aren't familiar with that, we introduced it 2 episodes ago where we list 2 players, and then Evan tells me I have to cut one of them and keep another, and then it was really fun the last time we did it around, and you guys liked it. So this time I'll be doing instead of Evan. But Evan, how are you doing, brother? Before we jump into this news,
I'm good, man. I'm getting pretty close to becoming a certified John Deere technician. So I was just doing school all day at my house, and found out that my instructor's actually a Broncos fan, and is gonna start watching the pod. So shout out
shout
to you,
out,
Robbie, if you're listening.
shout out to Robbie, man. I always love like I've never met like someone IRL besides like at training camp that's like listened to the pod or knowing like anything that I've done. But like anytime I meet like Broncos fans in general, because I don't live in Denver, I live in Chicago. So like meeting any Broncos fans, like it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
rare occurrence, man,
yeah,
especially up here too. It's cool though.
nothing but Caleb Williams meat riders over here. All right, so Broncos insider Mike Klis recently stated, or actually first, before I jump into this, completely missed this. Shout out time. I do this once every few episodes. Want to do them more often. Big shout out to Nielsen Alvarado. Thank you so much. I've been seeing all your comments. You've been nothing but positive in our comment section. So we really do appreciate you and all your support, man. I hope your family, and everything are staying happy, healthy, and safe. So appreciate you continuing to grow our community and everything, because when you're commenting about stuff like 20 minutes into an episode, it shows that you're clearly listening to the whole thing, which is boosting our watch time, which is boosting YouTube pushing out our content, which is also growing our community. So thank you so much, man. All right, so Broncos insider Mike Klis recently stated in an article that the reason second-year wide receiver Devaughn Vele missed all of mandatory minicamp was not because of a personal matter, but was actually due to a leg injury that he aggravated during OTAs. However, Champagne did say that Vele will be available for the start of training camp. Therefore, the injury is not severe to any extent. So relatively good news there. We were like kind of worried that it was something personal, maybe something serious to happen in his family. Obviously, when you're missing 3 days of practice, when you're like a super hard worker, like Devaughn Vele, like that's not normal for you. So we got kind of worried there. But it turns out it was an injury thing. Ever since Sean Payton got hired by the Broncos and we've had him as our head coach, like I feel like a lot of these like injury stuff and like everything in general with the team and drama base has been very tight knit. So it's no surprise that we're hearing this like almost a whole week later after it happened. But it was overall good to hear that it wasn't anything super serious, personal wise or injury wise.
Yeah, no, I think we're very fortunate that Devaughn Vele, that his family's all right and that it's not a serious injury. I think this is probably the best possible outcome that we could have coming out of this situation.
Yeah.
I found it a little bit alarming that he wasn't even there, but I mean, I think that it's probably just the fact that they didn't want anyone speculate. I mean, obviously people are speculating, but didn't want any indication of anything. People are going, "Oh, Devaughn Vele, you see him in like whatever knee brace or whatever he's wearing, right?" So, I definitely think it's a very fortunate situation that we kind of know that it's nothing to be alarmed about and that he's going to be ready to go because I definitely think he's looking very promising for this year for a big step, even though he had a tremendous rookie season for the position that he played.
Yeah, I'm really excited about him. I think the sky is the limit, honestly. Even though he's at 27 years old, a ripe age of 27, heading into the second year of his career, I still think he is poised to really break out in Denver, man. I made this comparison right after he got drafted, and some people didn't feel the same way about it. But then throughout the offseason and everything, he started really showing, like, remember last offseason, he was mossing dudes, just
Oh yeah.
mossing dudes. I can't remember exactly which corner it was, but he had this like incredible catch in
I think it was
7 on.
Riley Moss. He had the one-handed catch.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I think he's gonna look so good in the slot. He's gonna be our starting slot receiver. I think I made this comparison right after he got drafted to Puka Nacua, which is obviously a big comparison, but there are so many similarities in the game, dude. Like, both were considered hidden gems at one point. Obviously, Devaughn Vele is still a hidden gem technically to the rest of the league. Obviously, Puka Nacua is a top 10 receiver. Puka was a late fifth-round pick. Vele was a seventh-round pick, almost went undrafted. Puka is one of the best slot receivers in the game. Vele is mainly used as a slot receiver in Denver. Both are very, very effective blockers. Both are actually of Samoan descent as well. So that was a comparison I made like right after we drafted him in the seventh. And obviously everybody freaked out about the age and everything, but Sean Payton clearly believes in the guy, and he seems as pro-ready as it gets, even dating back to last year. And you look at his stats in his rookie season, dude, like 13 games, only 13 games, 41 catches for 475 yards and 3 touchdowns just as a rookie. I think he can honestly potentially double that. And I'm going to say it right now, some people, actually not some people, a lot of people will disagree with this. I think Devaughn Vele is going to lead this team in receiving yards in 2025. I think we've been talking so much about Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims. Everyone loves talking about Courtland Sutton. I think Devaughn Vele is going to look incredible within that slot, and he is super reliable. Like, yes, he did have 3 drops last year, but I think he's going to take a massive step in this offense. Sean Payton has been kind of keeping it quiet and talking more about these other receivers and their development. While we know Devaughn Vele, I really do believe in his potential within the slot. I think him and Bo Nix already have a very strong connection.
Yeah, I could definitely see a scenario where that's definitely a possibility. You guys know I'm very high on Pat Bryant, so I'm going to stand on that. But I mean, that's what we're on the show for, right? We can disagree, we can have our own opinions, right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Well, some people think you're not allowed to have your own opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, especially the people that think we should keep Jaleel McLaughlin over Audric Estime. I'm not going to mention any names on that, but
yeah,
I
some
thought that was
people
awesome.
Predicted this morning that Audric Estime will be cut off the 53 before Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah,
Not going to name names, but
that's a great take there. Let's keep the 24-year-old undrafted running back who I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even
nowhere near the upside as Audric Estime.
Yeah. This is about Devaughn Vele. So I can definitely see a scenario where he really thrives in that slot. You know how Sean Payton loves his bigger wide receivers, and I definitely think that I know this is like weird to say, but I think that if there is anyone that I would kind of want, if you had to tell me that one of the receivers needs to miss some practice time in training camp and stuff like that, I think that Devaughn Vele might be the best, just because he's, like you said, he's ready to go. I don't think that the way he plays the game and the kind of player that he is, I think the injury would hinder him the least. Obviously, saying that, I kind of sound a little weird, but I'm sure, like, I just can't put it into words what I'm trying to say here. Like Troy Franklin, for example, he's a huge developmental piece, like big question marks around him, especially around his hands. He is not a guy that I would want to miss time. Courtland Sutton's older, right? The recovery process is going to be, obviously Devaughn Vele is an older player as well, but I just think that Devaughn Vele, he's going to come back, and he's going to come back with his feet on the ground and running. If that's the word, those are the words I'm going to put that into.
Yeah, he's got freakish hands too and athleticism, even for his age. Like,
I don't think he's going to miss a beat, is what I'm trying to say. Like, he's going to come right back, and it's going to be like he never left.
And let me say this with my take. If my take will stand if he plays 16, 17 games, if he plays that, because injuries are starting to look like a little bit of a repetitive issue for him, unfortunately. So I hope he can continue to stay healthy from here on out in Denver. But I feel like I'm higher on Devaughn Vele than pretty much anybody else. I think this guy...
Yeah, you definitely are. I still really like Devaughn Vele, but you definitely are like the Devaughn Vele worshiper.
He's just that guy. I should probably make a Devaughn Vele worshiper. Let me know if I should rebrand my Instagram account, guys. Dude, his feet are just so quick. Like, the way he moves, you wouldn't think that for being 6'4", however, I think he's like 210, something like that. For the way he is, like, and being such a good run blocker, you wouldn't think he's like this incredible separator, like quick on his feet, great short area quickness, a great release. Like, people, I'm telling you, bro, Vele is getting overlooked. I think he's going to be something, man. And not just 2025, but for years to come. I think him and Bo Nix, man. If Bo Nix isn't like force feeding the ball to Troy Franklin like we thought he would after Troy Franklin got drafted, I think Vele is going to be his go-to guy. And look, I still think Courtland Sutton's definitely going to be top 2 in receiving yards. Maybe there's a chance Pat Bryant gets more receiving yards than him. I think if anybody is going to pass Courtland Sutton besides Vele, it's definitely Pat Bryant. Like, you know that meme of Lightning McQueen getting passed up in the Cars
Yeah.
movie?
McQueen is fading.
It's gonna be like Pat Bryant passing up Courtland Sutton. I feel like for that main like role, obviously, because
He'll be passing Michael Thomas and Cooper Kupp,
you
winning
got
the Triple Crown and shit.
like we talk about wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, but like as a slot receiver, you're your own wide receiver 1. Like that's a different position, and obviously we're gonna see Vele like on the perimeter sometimes, but he's gonna mostly be in the slot where I think he's excellent. Like he's such a good blocker. Why would you not have him in the slot? So, yeah, I really do think the sky's the limit for him this upcoming season, as long as he stays healthy. Knock on wood. All right, Evan, you got a list together for your cut and keep that I got to go through today. So, and you told me pre-game that it was going to be pretty difficult. So, let's hear
Yeah,
it.
I got a couple difficult ones. So this one is going to kind of include like the whole contract situations. Both these guys are in contract years, and you kind of have
Yes,
to pick between one that you're going to pay. One of them's price tag's a little higher, but I have JFM and Malcolm Roach.
Malcolm Roach. I'm keeping. I'm keeping
Because you'd
Malcolm
have to
Roach.
pay him less. I agree with you because JFM is going to require more money than Malcolm Roach is. And I think that obviously, I think JFM is an amazing player. I think he's super underrated. But the
Hmm.
price tag to the difference in price tag between Malcolm Roach and JFM and the skill gap is closer than the price tag, I think. So I definitely think Malcolm Roach makes a lot more sense to keep.
Good point.
So I kind of had a feeling you were going to agree with me on that one, but I wanted to make sure to include the fact that they're both in contract years.
Yeah, I love
Um,
JFM, but
I got Chris Abrams, Drain, and JL Skinner.
Chris Abrams Drain, J.L. Skinner. I'm keeping Chris Abrams Drain. I think the ceiling personally, and if you guys are, I haven't said it like too much, but I'm not that big of a believer in J.L. Skinner personally. I don't know. Some people will definitely disagree, but I think, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of J.L. Skinner. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but coverage wise, I think he's looked pretty suspect the last few years. So I would definitely keep Chris Abrams Drain. This dude, if he was like corner 3 or 4 on a different team, like I feel like he'd be getting way more coverage. But the fact
Yeah.
that he's here in Denver is like, you know,
That's a real tough one for me because JL Skinner has such an impact on special teams, but I also think Chris Abrams Drain has the potential to be a starting kick returner for our team, alongside Marvin Mims.
true.
I think he's got the field sense and he's got a knack for the football playing defense as well. He's got that potential at corner. I definitely think JL Skinner's position on defense is definitely a little bit more limited than Chris Abrams Drain, just because he's kind of like that prototypical money backer role, like the dollar linebacker who's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker, right? Like he doesn't have the best coverage skills, but man, is he good at tackling and playing in the box. So I definitely think it's hard, and I feel like Vance Joseph can get creative with them, but I agree with you. I think the potential of Chris Abrams Drain to become an elite special teamer as well as a solid depth corner, I think that outweighs JL Skinner's impact, but that's a hard one for me because I really like JL Skinner.
Yeah, I would rather have that like strong corner depth than like a developmental project at safety.
This one's a little bit like touchy because they don't really play the same position, but I got Drew Sanders and Dondre Tillman.
Drew Sand. Ooh, wait, that's good because you know I love Andre Tillman. I
Yeah.
love him.
He slimmed out too, eh? He's like, I think he lost like 10, 15
Did he
pounds over the
really?
offseason. Yeah.
Mm.
I was kind of hoping he'd bulk up a bit so he could play like 3-4 defensive end, but I mean he's gonna be rushing off the edge, obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was playing in a 4-3 at for the Birmingham
Yeah.
Stallions. Yeah.
Yeah, but now they got him playing outside linebacker, so he
Yeah.
lost some weight. I think he looks, from what I've seen, he looks like he's good, man.
His
He's
pass rush tools
wrecking.
are so good.
Yeah, man, he's good. That's a tough one, though, eh?
Oh, it's like, dude, I want Drew Sanders to be good so bad. Like, dude, I was
Yeah,
thinking this like the other day. I don't know if I said it on the pod. I would love for Drew Sanders to take like snaps and potentially even a starting role away from Alex Singleton. If he could be our guy, like, boom, we got our guy for the next several years. And obviously
yeah.
his contract isn't coming up till what, 2027. So, um, man, that's tough. if I knew right now, you told me like Drew Sanders is gonna be that guy this year, I would pick him. But
Yeah, same.
at the same time though, like we need linebacker depth. Edge, bro, we're so stacked. We're so
Yeah.
stacked.
That's what I'm thinking is because I'm looking at it like the linebacker depth's good, but we're solely keeping Drew Sanders here off of potential, whereas Dondre Tillman is a proven beast off
Yeah,
the edge. So it's like we do have that depth. That's why I put it in there because I knew that it was going to put us into this predicament and start this conversation because I think this is the hardest one by far that I have.
that's really good. Oh, Dondre
Actually,
Tillman's
no.
20. Dondre Tillman's he just turned 27, so that does play a little factor. I'm not gonna lie. Solely for the fact that I think Drew Sanders could become something, I'm gonna keep him. But it hurts me so bad
Yeah.
cutting Dondre Tillman. He'll be a call me crazy. I think he'd be a starter on like a edge needy team right now, like right
Oh,
now
for
in the
sure,
league.
man. He's so good. Dude, like, I don't even know how to answer this one, man. Like, it is a coin flip for me. Flip a coin, whatever it lands on, that's who I'm picking.
Fair.
So, I mean, I can see it from both sides. I don't think you really need to justify why you're picking one. I think it's just you have to pick one, right? It's
If Drew
if you have to pick
Sanders
one.
ends up being a bust, this clip will just age like
Yeah,
absolute milk.
exactly. But I mean, like, just you're playing off the potential and the fact that our inside linebacker depth is so much shallower than our edge depth. So I'll go with you on Drew Sanders on that one. This one's a little less important, but I got Michael Burton and Nate Adkins.
Nate Atkins, I'm keeping.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I like Michael Burton a lot, but I think the potential of Nate Atkins is a little bit more than Michael
Versatility.
Burton. Yeah, the versatility as well. Yeah. And then this one, I know what you're going to pick for this, but I think it's harder for like someone that's not as high as Vele and Franklin.
That's actually good as fuck, bro. Because Troy Franklin could really, dude, he could be the Jerry Jeudy and potentially even better than that for this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you might have to make me flip a coin for that one, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
love
Like this
Vele
is
so
another
much,
good
but like
one.
he's pushing 30 already. Like,
Yeah. The potential of Franklin's just immense, but like you know what you're getting in that reliable target in Devaughn Vele. I personally am taking Troy Franklin.
I see.
And the thing is I love Devaughn Vele, but I just think the purely off of the potential, if Troy Franklin can become that Oregon Troy Franklin with the Bo Nix
Yeah.
connection and he can start catching the ball, I think that his potential is higher than Vele's is. So that's just what I'm doing, considering, you know, I'm very high on guys like Pat Bryant and Marvin Mims, and we have Courtland Sutton. I just think that having that potential, you know, wide receiver 4 with the huge upside is more important to me.
Yeah, it's so tough though, because like if you get rid of Vele and Franklin flops, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
now we just gotta hope Marvin Mims, who's basically just a gadget receiver, like, and I'm not shitting on the guy, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Marvin Mims is really gonna be a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, at this
Mm-hmm.
point in his career. Um, you also gotta like factor in like you always want to be in win now mode, like you want to win a championship ASAP, and
Yeah.
Vele I feel like gives you the better chance now. I don't know.
Tough one, dude.
I'll keep Franklin, just because I think he could return back to the Oregon form,
Wow.
but it's tough, man.
Wow.
Franklin,
I could have sworn you were gonna say Vele.
yeah, I'm gonna keep Franklin, but Franklin, you better put on some weight, start learning how to block better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yo, I low-key kind of cooked with those, eh?
You cooked, absolutely cooked.
Make sure you guys in the comments tell me what you would have picked, especially for those hard ones, because I definitely want to see where your guys' heads are at, because apparently I don't know ball. So
All right, let us know what you guys thought about that one. If there was anything differently, like if there was any matchups that you disagree with Evan and I on those, and the Devaughn Vele stuff as well. Let us know. I like how this was like a Devaughn Vele episode today. I really enjoyed this because Devaughn Vele is king. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm your host Amir Farrell with my co-host Evan Petruk. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.